We're going to learn about dinosaurs.
Triceratops! Triceratops. Can you say it with me? Triceratops. Let's learn all about Triceratops. Triceratops was found in North America. It lived about 68 million years ago, in the late Cretaceous period. Cretaceous. Triceratops means three-horned face. It had two large horns above its eyes. Let's count them. 1, 2. The third was a very small one, made up of the same stuff that's in your fingernail. Do you know how big a Triceratops was? Triceratops was as big as a truck. It was really heavy. It weighed as much as 2 elephants. 1, 2. Its head was almost a third of the length of its entire body. What a big head! What did Triceratops eat? Triceratops was a herbivore. That means it was a vegetarian. It ate plants, not meat. Delicious! Triceratops had no teeth. So how did it eat all those veggies? Instead of chewing, it ate rocks that ground up the plants in its belly. Imagine a belly full of rocks. Oof! Triceratops used its horns and the frill around its neck to defend itself against other dinosaurs.
It also used its horns and frill to butt heads with and to attract other Triceratops. We're going to learn all about Stegosaurus. How do you say that again? Stegosaurus. So what do we know about Stegosaurus? It was found in the United States and Portugal. They lived about 150 million years ago in the late Jurassic period. Jurassic. This was the same time period as Brachiosaurus, so they would have been neighbours. Stegosaurus means roofed lizard because it had those plates on its back, like the roof on a house. We'll talk more about those plates later. Do you know how big a Stegosaurus was? It was as big as a bus. But even though it was huge, it had a tiny brain. It was only the size of a walnut, so it wasn't too smart. So what were those plates for? Scientists think the plates on Stegosaurus's back were used to keep it warm by absorbing heat from the sun. Toasty! Scientists also think they were used to show off to other Stegosauruses. So what did Stegosaurus eat? Stegosaurus was a herbivore. That means it was a vegetarian. It ate plants, not meat. Delicious veggies. Did you see the tail on Stegosaurus? On its tail, it had huge spikes, almost half the size of a human. It used them for defending themselves against scary dinosaurs. Stegosaurus always travelled in a herd with lots of other Stegosauruses. Let's learn all about Brachiosaurus. How do you say that again? Brachiosaurus. Do you know how tall the Brachiosaurus was? It was as tall as a semi-trailer truck is long. Do you think Brachiosaurus was heavy? You're right. It weighed as much as 5 elephants. Which animal does Brachiosaurus look similar to? Just like a giraffe, it had a very long neck. It could be up to 9 meters long. That's nearly twice as long as a whole giraffe, just in the neck. Brachiosaurus was a sauropod. Sauropods were a group of dinosaurs that grew to be huge. Other sauropods include Diplodocus and Brontosaurus. Brachiosaurus was a herbivore. That means it was a vegetarian. It ate plants, not meat. Yum! A Brachiosaurus walked on all fours, but sometimes it stood on its back legs to reach really high trees. Brachiosaurus ate a lot of food. Not that food. Plants, remember? It ate 400 kilograms of plants every day. That's the same as 4,000 apples every day. The average human only eats 2 kilograms a day. It had lots of teeth, 52 altogether, for grinding up the plants that it ate. Do you know what Brachiosaurus means? It means arm lizard, because its front legs, or arms, were longer than its back legs. Brachiosaurus was found in North America, the same place as T-Rex, but not at the same time. It lived about 150 million years ago, in the mid to late Jurassic period. Jurassic. So Brachiosaurus would have been neighbours with Stegosaurus. Let's learn all about the most famous dinosaur ever, Tyrannosaurus Rex. How do you say that again? Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's often called T-Rex for short though. T-Rex was really big and quick. In fact, it was as big as a bus. And it could run as fast as one. How heavy was a T-Rex? A fully grown T-Rex was really heavy. It weighed as much as 4 rhinos. It walked on 2 huge legs, and it used its large head to balance its very long tail. T-Rex had 2 arms, and while they may look small, they were very powerful. And featured 2 clawed fingers. Yikes! What did T-Rex eat? It was most definitely a carnivore. That means it ate meat from other dinosaurs. No plants here. T-Rex had huge teeth. Its teeth were the largest found from any carnivorous dinosaur, around 30 centimeters long. It had the most powerful bites of any land animal ever. A T-Rex had growth spurts, just like humans do. When T-Rex hit the age of 14, it would put on loads of weight, around 600 kilograms a year over the next 4 years. 600 kilograms is how much a large polar bear weighs. T-Rex had really good eyesight, and it could see 4 times as far as humans. No need for glasses here. Do you know what Tyrannosaurus Rex means? It means king of the tyrant lizards, because it was the most famous of a group of ferocious dinosaurs. T-Rex was found in North America, just like the giant Brachiosaurus, but not at the same time. It lived about 75 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period. Cretaceous. So they would have been neighbours with Triceratops, but they weren't friends. Let's learn all about Velociraptor. How do you say this again? Velociraptor. Sometimes they were just called raptors. Velociraptors were smaller than you might think. After seeing Jurassic World, they were roughly the size of a turkey. It was quite long though, about as long as a full-size bed. How much did a Velociraptor weigh? They weighed up to 15 kilograms. That's about the weight of 2 small dogs. Velociraptor walked on 2 legs and had sharp claws measuring 3 inches long on its feet. These were used to catch its food, smaller dinosaurs. Scientists think the Velociraptor actually had feathers like a bird. This was probably to keep them warm though, or to show off, not to fly. It's thought that Velociraptor hunted in packs. so it would have been surrounded by lots of other raptors. Do you know what velociraptor means? It means speedy thief, because it was so quick and agile. It was so fast that it would have the world record in the 100-meter sprint, if it could race. Velociraptor was found in Mongolia and China. It lived about 75 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period. That was the same time as T-Rex. How do you say that again? Ankylosaurus. How big was an ankylosaurus? It was as long as a bus. And as heavy as 2 hippos. It was like a tank, big and strong and covered in armoured scales. Ankylosaurus means fused lizard because bones in its skull and other parts of its body were fused together, making it very tough. Whilst their top was very hard, they had a very soft underbelly that was not protected by any armour. It also had a big old club on its tail. This was used to defend itself against predators like the T-Rex, which was around at the same time. Ankylosaurus would eat leaves and plants that were low on the ground, easy for it to reach. Because it was so big and heavy, its top speed was only around 6 miles an hour. That's the same speed as a human jogging. Not fast enough to outrun a T-Rex though. Ankylosaurus was found in North America, just like Triceratops and T-Rex. They lived about 67 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period. Again with Triceratops and T-Rex. We hope you enjoyed learning about the brilliant Ankylosaurus. Bye, Ankylosaurus! Let's learn all about Spinosaurus! How do you say that again? Spinosaurus. Can you say it with me? Spinosaurus. Do you know how big a Spinosaurus was? It was one of the biggest carnivores, that's a meat-eating dinosaur, that ever lived. It was bigger than a T-Rex. It was as long as a semi-trailer truck. How much did Spinosaurus weigh? It weighed as much as 3 elephants. Spinosaurus means spine lizard. Can you guess why? Because of these huge spines on its back. The spines grew up to 7 feet long. That's taller than a human. Much like the plates on a Stegosaurus, scientists think that the spines were either used to keep it warm from the sun or to attract other Spinosauruses. It had a unique head for a carnivore, just like a crocodile. It was long and thin. And like crocodiles, it's thought that Spinosaurus could also swim. Unlike lots of other meat-eating dinosaurs, Spinosaurus had large arms, so strong. This meant that as well as walking on 2 legs, it could also walk on all 4s. Spinosaurus was found in North Africa. They lived about 100 million years ago in the Cretaceous period. Cretaceous. So what have we learned? We learned Spinosaurus was one of the biggest carnivores that ever lived. Bigger than a T-Rex, as long as a semi-trailer truck, and weighing as much as 3 elephants. Spinosaurus means spine lizard because of those huge spines. The spines on its back were bigger than a human. They were up to 7 feet long, and they were either used to keep it warm or to attract other Spinosauruses. It had a head like a crocodile. It could probably swim, and also walked on 2 legs or 4. How versatile! Spinosaurus was found in North Africa, and it lived about 100 million years ago in the Cretaceous period. We hope you enjoyed learning about the incredible Spinosaurus. Bye, Spinosaurus! Let's learn all about Diplodocus. How do you say that again? Diplodocus. How big was a Diplodocus? It was one of the longest dinosaurs ever. It was as long as nearly 4.5 buses. Most of this length was taken up by its neck and tail. It would walk around with both of them parallel to the ground, balancing each other. How heavy was a Diplodocus? It was as heavy as a dump truck. It was one of the slowest dinosaurs around. Its top speed was only 9 miles per hour, so a regular human could easily outrun it. Diplodocus would use its tail like a whip. Scientists think it could even break the sound barrier. It used it to defend itself against scary dinosaurs. Diplodocus had smaller front legs and bigger back legs, so it would often rear up onto 2 legs to reach higher food. He never skipped leg day. It only had teeth at the front of its mouth, which it used to strip leaves off of branches. Do you know what Diplodocus means? It means double-beamed lizard. That's because it had unique double bones all along the underside of its tail. Diplodocus was found in North America, just like T-Rex. But not at the same time. They lived around 150 million years ago in the mid to late Jurassic period. So they would have been neighbours with Stegosaurus and Brachiosaurus.
We hope you enjoyed learning about the amazing Diplodocus. Bye, Diplodocus.